If you're watching this video and you haven't gotten your first wholesaling real estate deal yet, and you feel stuck, you don't know what to do, and you want to make a change, this is the video for you. I just got off a live presentation where I was completely vulnerable and I explained exactly the reasons why you are quitting wholesaling real estate, why you're feeling like quitting, and why you have this urge to just give up in this business. I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome this, reset the way you think of wholesaling real estate, and get you on the way to get your first wholesaling real estate deal this month in wholesaling real estate. This was a live presentation I did on my personal Zachin YouTube channel that I felt that was so powerful. I need you to see it right here on Flip with Rick. Of course, you can subscribe, but if you haven't gotten your first wholesaling deal, this video is a must watch right now. Are you ready to quit wholesaling real estate? Are you done? Do you feel sick? Do you feel tired? Do you want to give up? Well, in today's video, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you. I want to have a legitimate conversation about wholesaling real estate, what it means to get into this business, what it means to become successful in this business, and probably some of the biggest misconceptions I can say for most people looking to get rich wholesaling real estate. The honest truth is wholesaling real estate to this day is the greatest, best way for anyone to make $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 a month with no money, no experience, no education, no discrimination. Care what you look like, what you sound like, anything. It all matters on the effort and the work you can do. Fundamentally, here in the United States of America, and heck, if you're watching this, let's say Nigeria, Serbia, somewhere outside the United States, you're wholesaling in the United States of America. So you are part of this. We have an American flag behind me here. The United States of America was built on the principles of how anyone with no money coming anywhere from the world can have opportunity here. And if you're watching this as a virtual wholesaler with no experience, I've closed a lot of wholesaling deals in Mexico, right? I wasn't in the United States. Anyone has the opportunity if you're willing to work hard. This business does not hand out money. This business does not hand out free assignment deals. It is earned. It is a right. It is something that you can savor because you've earned it and you've worked. So if you're expecting me to sit down and say, oh, you're just a big crybaby, a little baby, you know, a little person who doesn't want to work hard and you're just a bum. That's not what I'm here for you. Because I think there's plenty of videos out there, motivation to say, oh, you're just a bum, you're not working hard enough and just man up. This is not the video for you, okay? Like I'm just being honest. Let's have a clear conversation of why you're considering quitting wholesaling real estate and going from here. Now, as you know, we have some fiery comments today, and I want to get to everything and talk about it. But if you're watching this and you're considering quitting wholesaling, as somebody that has taught more wholesalers than anyone in the entire history of wholesaling real estate, okay? I say that without an ego. I say that in the most respectful manner. There's not one other person that brings tens of thousands of new wholesalers in a wholesaling course and educates them in the entire world besides me. So I've produced more first deals for people than anyone else. And I've dealt with more people that have quit this business than anyone else. And so I've had my fair share of people quitting this business, coming back in, being successful, and people coming in, becoming successful, and people just quitting and being failures in wholesaling, right? I've seen it all. And I just want to sit down and have an honest conversation with you today about this business. I will allow anybody to hop on here and talk to me live today. I will have an honest conversation with anyone, talking to you, Steve. And so if you want to have a convo with me and you feel like quitting, I want to talk to you. But just before you do this, before you quit wholesaling, I want you guys to hear me out. I have a lot of experience when it comes to doing wholesaling deals around the country. If you're watching this, I've probably done a wholesaling deal virtually in your market. And so why is a 24-year-old who first started wholesaling as a teenager, who's done over 2,000 wholesaling real estate deals pretty much at this point, what does he have to say? What have I been through? And how I've helped so many people here. It's not because I feel like I am this upper echelon, I'm greater than you or better than you. It's not that. I've just done one thing better than most people, and that's just not quit. And so let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation of where you're at right now, where you need to be at, and what it's gonna take to get to that point. And I'm giving anyone permission today. If you wanna quit wholesaling, quit it. I'm not gonna stop you, okay? I promise you that. I'm not going to be the guy that is going to stop you from getting to wholesaling real estate today. I'm going to be a guy that is just going to have an honest conversation with you. You can quit if you want, but let's just talk. So if you're watching this, you feel tired, you feel like this business is too much or not enough, if you're somebody who hasn't gotten their first wholesaling deal, this video is for you. And ultimately, if you're feeling like quitting, let's talk. First and foremost, wholesaling real estate is an illusion. And what I mean by this is a lot of people have this one word when they get into wholesaling. And if you're considering quitting, you're probably in this illusion. This is all about expectations. What you expect in this business and what you receive are different. And in my short years of life, but in dog years in business, I'm a 90-year-old man in wholesaling and teaching I have hundreds of thousands of people I've shown. Though the one thing that can show happiness in business, and I've seen personal life, is expectations minus reality. If you're expecting a huge storm and it's a sunny day, you're in a good mood. If you got told your mom was going to only live for a year and she lives for 10 years, you're over the moon ecstatic. But if your mom was never supposed to have that diagnosis, you might be mad at her tomorrow. And your expectations versus reality are different. And so the most people are upset in life, and I'm just being honest with you, is because your expectations are different than your reality. And I'm not getting in a big hoopla about this, but a lot of people get into wholesaling real estate expecting to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a month. And that is completely possible. I swear to you, I see it pretty much every day. People send me checks. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Zach. But your expectations are different, and not the expectations that you're thinking of, right? I was going to say expectations you're expecting, but a lot of people expect to make $50K in a month. That's my expectations. My right. Expectations is you were expecting to work 2 hours a week, and then your results were going to be 50 grand. That's when it's different. You cannot be working 2 hours a week and making 50 grand a month. There is a quality and effort curve that we have to talk about in wholesaling real estate that I just don't think a lot of wholesalers truly understand. And so let me share with you a chart, a theorem, but mostly a chart that I found in wholesaling real estate. And this will be able to be downloaded anywhere. But this is basically, I have terrible handwriting, but this is as close as I can find of most wholesalers' issues. This is a results and effort matrix chart, whatever you want to call it. And what I mean by this is results is money on the top and then efforts on the bottom, right? And so there's a baseline of what most wholesalers do. They probably, I would say, put in 5-10 hours a week into wholesaling. And I would say about 10 hours a week into wholesaling, you probably have a 5 to 10% chance of getting your first deal in a month. Just being honest, that's the baseline. That's what the average person does. But do you see this, it's an exponential curve wholesaling real estate where every hour you put in, you get 2-3x better chances of getting a wholesaling deal per hour than from the bottom. And so going from 35 hours a week in the wholesaling to 36 is way greater than going from 2 hours to 3 hours. What I found is the wholesalers putting 30-40 hours a week, they have a 50-50 shot of getting their first deal in a month. And then for 2 months, it's almost guaranteed at that point. Because it's hours in, hours out. The skills go up, you get better, and you just do more hours and more chances. And so the majority of wholesalers, I don't know if it shows it right here. The majority of wholesalers are right here on what we call here this baseline, right? This is where they're at. And the problem is, I would say 80-90% of most people starting on wholesaling stay at this baseline or before. And the problem is, like, this area right here is nice, right? Can I draw on here? I don't know if I'm allowed to. Can I draw on here? Does it let me draw? Can I draw on here? Let's see. Mark up. Oh, wow. I think I can mark up. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay. So I would say most wholesalers are in this like area right here, okay? They're in this area, right? They believe in their mind that like they should be here, but really they're in this area. I would say about 80%, okay? 80%. This is where they're at. And truly only about 20% are in this area. And so if you really want good results, you're gonna have to be over here, not over here. But the problem is you guys are stuck in here. And everyone comes in here and complains that, oh, I'm not getting the results I want. You're stuck on the left side of the baseline. You have to be exceptional to get exceptional results. So if you're looking to make 20, 30 grand this month, you're gonna have to be above what everyone's willing to do. And these are the numbers here. And so what I could tell you is, like when I talk to people, let's have a, where are we? Okay. All right. So what I'm saying here is most wholesalers, like they're in here, right? They're in this part and they're like, why am I not getting results? It's like, because you're not over here. I need to move your bum from here to probably right here. Okay. This is where you need to be. And your expectations should be around you should have a 20% expectation if you are working probably about 22, right? That's what your expectation should be. Now you can put 60, 70, 80 hours. I mean, at that point, that's where I was at 100%. But I get, yes, there are those guys that do 5 hours to get the results, right? But one thing I can tell you is if you want to get the results, you have to do the work here. And, there's a lot of people. Let's see here. Steve doesn't have a webcam. Use your phone, dude. Your phone has a webcam. Do you not have a phone, Steve? Thank you. You have DoorDash, so you definitely have a phone, bro. Hop on with your phone, man. Thank you. We don't do excuses up in here, bro. Okay. So, back to what I'm saying. So most wholesalers that complain to me, give me excuses, they're in this left side. When you really need to be is on this right side. Is this a pretty easy chart? Let me know. Like, is this a hard chart? Is this a difficult chart? Please let me know how difficult this chart is. But if you're expecting to quit wholesaling real estate because you're right here, okay, let's reset this. Okay, there we go. So if you were in this area right here, let's say you're right here. Okay, let's put you right here. You probably got a 7% chance of getting your first wholesaling deal. All right, sounds pretty good, right? I mean, pretty normal. So you have about a 7% chance. So that's what your expectation should be. If your expectations is 50% chance, pull up, do 30 hours, bro. Like do 30 hours or do at least 30 hours of cold calling in 15 hours. You can definitely do better results and better lists. And so this is the issue I see most wholesalers. They're stuck on this baseline. And if you want better results than average, go above the baseline or go below it. I mean, I hate to tell you, like I look at Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe Bryant. Guess what Kobe Bryant does? If you look at the baseline of work put in wholesaling, in basketball, he was above the baseline. He did 6-7 hours a day since a teenager. So if he was doing 1,000 shots a day, that's 365,000 shots a year. I don't care. You start trying to outwork him year 10. He has 3.6 million shots in on practicing. I don't care if you start, I'm going to do 9 hours then. No, do 9 hours, but like he's up by 3.6 million free throws than you. So you better start. And so what I'm trying to explain here is your expectations minus reality is completely skewed. So you have to understand this, guys. Your effort is completely correlated to the results you're going to make in wholesaling. I know this is a stupid, crazy concept, but the more work and hours you put in this business, the more results you get. The more effort you put into basketball training, the better basketball player you are, right? Now, there are some intelligence things and how much gifted you are with things. Yeah, there is those factors. But just looking at the raw data of wholesalers that get their first deal, the majority of them are always above this baseline. But only 20% are willing to even be in this spot right here. Okay, only about 20% are willing to be here. When 80% all go in here because they're only willing to do what they need to do or just a little less than that. Just being honest. And so you have to make this conscious decision to yourself today of, hey, I'm willing to make a change. I'm willing to do some wholesaling results. I'm ready to make some money. You have to make that conscious decision yourself right now of what needs to happen. But your expectations and reality are completely screwed up. I see a lot of people, a ton, that expect to not work hard and make a ton of money. It don't work like that. And so what are your expectations? What is your reality? Okay. So you got to remember your reality of where you're at right now versus where you need to be at are completely different. And it's crazy for me to say, but I've had this realization the past 2 or 3 years, showing people on the internet how to wholesale real estate, that what I consider hard work and what Joseph considers hard work, and Joseph's a 17-year-old who just came off of TikTok, what they consider hard work is completely different. And if you ever, I have a bunch of buddies that work in retail and construction and all these things. And when they get a new guy coming in, their expectation of what hard work is completely different to what they're used to, right? And if you're a Starbucks barista and then you get thrown in to start laying concrete or doing masonry, you're making iced matcha teas in the air conditioning for 8 hours is completely different than a 12-hour shift laying concrete in 104-degree temperatures in the middle of Detroit, okay, in the summer. So like, just being honest with you, like what your baseline of hard work is probably completely screwed up. And when I see people, and good intention people are actually trying to make money, trying to become successful, trying to actually get wholesaling real estate deals, right? Their expectations of what hard work is completely different. And now, I'm having a conversation. If you are working 30, 40 hours a week in wholesaling, I want to have a conversation with you. Because this is issue number 2 that we're going to talk about here of why you're actually not successful, right? And some people are putting in the work. I will give it to them. There are some people out here that actually are putting in the work, but where they're directing the work is the issue too. We'll have a conversation with that too, okay? I will have a convo with you, but I will tell you that number 1, expectations versus reality is completely off. So this is an example of Canadians in Florida versus Floridians in Canada. And what I mean by this is if I bring a guy from Canada and he comes to Florida in the summer and it's hot, swampy, he's like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And someone like me, I'm sitting outside, a little alligator walks by, a little moccasin, maybe an anaconda, I'm chilling, right? A little bull shark swims by me in the beach, I'm chilling. I'm Florida man, okay? Like, stuff's nothing to me, dog. And you know, a shark swims by a guy in Canada on the beach, he starts flipping out, crying, and it's swampy, it's hot. His expectation is 70 degrees or something in the summer, right? Nice. Because his expectation, this is what he's used to his whole life, is from like, you know, Alberta's all nice in the summer. He comes to Florida, he's all thrown off, right? Now, if you throw me, okay, I'll use an example. I once went to the mountains in Colorado, -5 degrees. I couldn't do it. Like it was, oh my gosh. I was 1.5 miles up in the air. I couldn't breathe. I was freezing my butt off. I couldn't do it because my expectation of what cold was 55 degrees and I was bundled up like I was in the Swiss Alps. And so my thermostat in my mind of what cold is, I wasn't used to, and it was not good for me. But when a guy's used from the north, he comes to the south, it's terrible, right? And the same thing happens in wholesaling. I love my generation. I love most people. But there's a lot of soft people my age and younger that have never really been through anything tough. So if you call the sickness 3 or 4 years ago the toughest thing that's ever happened in your life, you're a very lucky person. Now, there's people that have been through harder situations than me. I completely acknowledge that and I know that. But we never went in World War I. We never fought in World War II. We never went to Vietnam. We never went through, I never went in the Gulf War, right? I've never been combat, right? I've never served in the military. Like, there's people that go through a lot more heinous stuff. I was never a nurse, doctor, police officer, right? I had never been through some completely crazy, insane things. Never a firefighter. Like, there's people that go through a lot of crazy situations I've never been through. And I hope to never go through my life, right? And so my adversity has never been being shot at. My adversity is always just working hard in business and things like that, which trust me, it's a completely different type of hard. But your expectations of what hard work is and your results are completely different. We're talking about making 30, 40 grand a month with no money at all. So if you're 18 years old and you're watching this, you need to wake up, okay? You need to wake your butt up, man. And what I mean by this is let's sit down and have a convo here. Let's get a piece of paper right now. You want to make 40 grand in the next 30 days with no money, no college degree, heck, no high school diploma. Tell me, what are you going to do in 30 days? Be a lawyer? Nope. That got to get two or 3 years. Be a doctor, 2 to 3 years, and they don't even make 30 grand a month unless you're a surgeon. That's going to take you 10 years. Okay. Let's see. You can you can sell pictures of you on the internet, but that ain't good because you're ugly just like me. So, dang it. Okay. Well, what can we do? Can I be a streamer? Ain't going to happen in 30 days. I can do drop ship. No, that's cost me 4 or 5 grand. I can do this trading thing. No, that's 4 or 5 grand with the coaching program. It's like, what am I going to do to make 30 grand in 30 days? Like, let's have a legit conversation here. You can deal drugs, but then you're going to go to jail and then you're a felon. That's not good. Okay. Well, I'm out of ideas, right? Wholesale houses. I'm just get a real estate license. Are you kidding me? You're going to make 10 grand. Well, trust me, you're going to make 10 grand and you're probably going to be 2 or 3 grand out the hole here. All right. And so if you have no money, you make 30 grand. Tell me, what are your options? All right. Like, let's have a legit conversation here. okay? If you're not blessed with a beautiful face, you know, like what are you going to do here? You just can't be a supermodel. I'm trying to think here. You know, what are the options here? All right? Not much. And so it's like you got to match your expectations here. So let's say, for example, you were going to do, I mean, where does another op make 30 grand? You're 18, you got no diploma, nothing, right? I guess you can make a viral video. All right, sure, go do it. It's easier said than done, okay? And so let's say we're gonna flip things on garage sales, okay? That's actually a legit thing. I've actually done that before as a teenager. You buy something for 10 bucks, you sell it for 30, and you keep trying to bring it up, right? How many hours do you expect to make $2,000 doing that? You're definitely gonna have to put at least 4 or 5 hours into going to thrift shops and garage sales, right? And then you're probably gonna put 5 hours trying to sell on the internet, and maybe you'll make $1,000 doing that. So put 10 hours to make $1,000. That's not bad, okay? Well, to make 30,000, I'm gonna put 30 times 10, that's 300 hours. So that's a lot of hours, right? Can't do that. You know, that's like 80, 90, 100 hours a week, and that's if we're lucky. So it's just like, okay, but you're trying to work 3 hours a week in wholesaling, and you'll work 140 hours just to do that garage sale flipping, but when it comes to actually wholesaling houses, you're only gonna put 3 or 4. Let's get to 15, 20, 30 and see what happens. I mean, you'll go and put 40 hours a week in a job just to make a measly 5 grand, which is, I mean, it's not a small amount of money if you're taking care of your family. Shout out to anyone doing that, right? But the salary, be honest here. But you're willing to do that just to make 5 grand. What are you willing to do to make $30,000? You should be willing to 6X that, right? Right? But you're telling me you want to live your dreams, but you're only put 5 or 10 hours a week in those dreams? Are you kidding me? It's insane to me. Y'all will go scroll on TikTok for 15 hours a week without even knowing it, right? All right, you'll watch NBA for 5 hours a week, but this is your dream here. This is you taking care of your mom. This is taking your kids, your family, all these things. But you're willing to put 5, 10 hours a week in your dream? Seriously? Come on. Like, guys, this is our dream. This is everything to us. And so if you're considering quitting wholesaling, we first have to be like, hey, is your expectations and reality off of what actually it takes to become successful? Everyone here idolizes athletes and rappers, right? My generation especially. We idolize rappers and athletes. But everyone sees them be all rich and successful, but you don't see the work they've done behind the scenes. And they never do the secret sauce, right? Let's talk about, what? Like, what's a rapper everyone loves now? Let's use a good example. Yeet. Let's use Yeet. He came out with an album, right? No one hates him, right? I don't think anyone hates Yeet. He'll go on tour for 100 hours in a month, a couple years ago, just to get his name out there. Like he's putting hundreds of hours a week on tour. Like you look at any rapper before they got big, they were spending a lot of time just putting their name out there just to get to the point where they're at now. And look at any athlete, they're putting 5-6 hours in a day, just training their body, probably 12 hours a day on everything, right? And so all the people that we idolize, these rappers, it seems like they only work 1 hour a week, but no, they're putting in hundreds of hours. And so if we're idolizing those people, wow, they put a lot of hours in this. Maybe I should. Maybe if this guy, my favorite rapper, is putting in 100 hours, maybe I should put 100 hours in this week. And so let's reset a reality of our favorite rappers and athletes, right? They put in more hours than we can ever imagine. Why don't we try to do that so we get the result? I have to tell you, look at the people you look up to, business-wise or making money-wise. Just do what they do. Everybody says, oh, the Mamba mentality. I want to be just like Kobe, bro. Then do what Kobe does. You're probably not willing to do that, though. Everyone says they want to get rich and successful, and you say you want to emulate this guy or gal, but you're not actually doing it. Everyone loves talking the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And so I get people talking to me, Zach, I want to be just like you. Well, do what I do. I got receipts. 17, 18, 19 years old, okay? I'm just being honest with you, okay? Do what I did. 15, 16 hours a day for years. Do what I do. Tell me. I got receipts. I got bites. I got the whole gamut showing what did I do from 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. I ate, breathed, slept. Everything I do is wholesaling real estate. Nothing else. Make fun of me all you want, but like, that's all I did. And I was willing for that delayed gratification to get to where I'm at now. Now, I was willing to do that. I had no kids. I had no girlfriend. I had not married. Like, I didn't have any of these hassles in my life. My only hassle was making more money, doing more work, and building my business. Now I get travel the world, do whatever I want, right? But the truth here is, in wholesaling real estate, guys, you have to put in the effort to get the result, is what this business is. And so if you want to come up to me and say, I work 5 hours a week, wah. I wasn't sleeping for years to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. to put bandit signs out. I wasn't sleeping. I had hunger pains in my stomach, but they were in my brain, if that made sense. And what I mean is, you know, you're hungry, you get hunger pains and it hurts, and all you think about is getting food because you're so dang hungry. I did a lot of wrestling in high school and cutting weight, so I've had my fair share of that. The same thing happened in my head. I had hunger pains of getting rich in my mind, where it hurt so bad that the only thing I could think of was eating, which is getting money. Same thing, you know, Eric Thomas says this quote, right? If you're drowning in the water, what's the only thing you can think of? Breathing. The only thing you want to do is breathe. You do anything to breathe, right? And boom. And he says, if you want to get rich as bad as you want to breathe while you're drowning, then you'll be successful. Same thing in wholesaling real estate. If all you want is to become a successful wholesaler, go do it. I'm not telling you to go abandon your kids, divorce your wife, break up with your girl. I'm not telling you to do that, okay? That's too drastic. But for the average person right here, that before you get these responsibilities and kids and wives and all, before you get all that baggage that actually harms you in wholesaling, I hate to tell you, like, it's harder to get in wholesaling when you have 2 kids and no kids. You can take more risks. You can work actually more. And so you have to go all in. You have to wake up and make a change in your life. This change will happen. I'm telling you, you have to make a change. So let's talk about this. For most wholesalers, that effort is the issue. Your lack of marketing is the one thing killing you. Your lack of information of knowing what to do is killing you. And so we have to know that we need to market more for most people watching this. And for a big portion of you, right, we got a lot of people coming from Instagram. Shout out to all my guys. I'm at Flip with Zach on Instagram, by the way. I just made a post yesterday, right? You got 50,000 views. I said, you want to get rich wholesaling? Go to freewholesaling.com, right? So we got a lot of newbies on here, right? If you're watching this and you don't know anything I'm saying, I have a course called freewholesaling.com, teach you how to wholesale for free. Frankly, I'm sick of repeating what my script is 50,000 times. So I have a course where 50,000 people can go watch my script and download it for free, okay? I can't individually message 100,000 people this month to go get into wholesaling, okay? No, right? The course is there, teach you how to do it, you must go. And so let's talk about these people here trying to get into it, right? And if you're thinking about this, you know, your drive must drive you. And we think about your people you idolize in the world, and people you idolize in life. What's driving you? Seriously. And so what drove me in wholesaling real estate was I never, ever wanted to work another job the rest of my life. Behind me is my house, my office, right? I have this thing right here, and it motivates me to no end. This is a name tag I had at my bag boy job when I was 14 years old, and I always kept it. And my drive was stupid. I'll be honest with you. I'm not here to feed my kids. I have no kids. I'm not here to provide for anyone, right? But I used to put this name tag on, scrub dookie on a toilet. I used to mop floors. I used to bag groceries. I used to do a lot of putting carts and, you know, bag boy stuff, right? I was never able to become promoted. They didn't let me be a grocery clerk. They never let me be a cashier because I wasn't good enough. And yeah, that's what my life was, $8.25 an hour, right? And I put the stupid little name tag on, all right? I keep it with me. And when I got into cold calling, I was cold calling 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight. You don't believe me? Hear my live cold calls? The results show, all right? And whenever I felt like a sorry little bum, all right, you can read between the lines what I'm really saying, but if I used to feel like a sorry little bum, I used to look at this thing, put it right on the desk when I was cold calling, right here, and I used to look at that thing and said, Zach, you little stupid bum, what are you willing to do right now? Are you willing for the next 3 hours into cold calling, are you willing to put this name tag on, scrub dookie, mop floors, and clean up the grocery store and bag groceries for the next 2 hours, making $8.25 an hour? Or have a better chance of making a $20,000 deal today and just putting those 2 hours into cold calling? And I looked at this name tag. I said, never again I'm putting this stupid dang thing on. Never. And that that lit a fire in me like nothing else. And I know it sounds stupid, but I hated going to that job and making no money at all and staying broke more than I hated cold calling for those 2 hours. The truth. And that's what drove me, right? I'll tell you this, guys. If you're watching this and you have something that drives you more, it doesn't matter. I use this example a lot when I was getting started in wholesaling. There was this other guy. He had 2 kids. He had a wife. And he was putting bandit signs out the same time I was putting bandit signs out. And he put bandit signs out at 5 a.m. I put them out at 4:30 a.m. And he used to take my bandit signs out. And every time he took it out, I just put my bandit sign right. He took mine out. I would just put my bandit sign back on. I do it every day. And he wasn't willing to do that because he was just too busy. And I started a little bandit sign war, and he started stealing all my signs, and I said, fine. So I stole signs back, put my signs out. And eventually, every time he put one sign out, I put 2 signs next to it. And I was way better at acquisitions than him because I just wanted it more. And he got out of the business. He couldn't get enough deals because I started whooping his butt. Best way I can say it. I had better buyers. I whooped his butt. And the moral of the story here is, how could a teenager at 19 years old put a grown man out of business wholesaling houses when he has 2 kids to provide for and a wife? And he got the 19-year-old me, okay, driving his 2004 Honda Accord. How is he whooping your butt? The guy was driving a $50,000 truck. That was his only marketing. How did I put him out of business? How did I put his butt out of business? I answered the phones instantly. I got to the appointment faster, and I beat him on everything. And so you're watching this, and you want to know, like, his drive was more than mine on paper, right? But I was willing to work harder than him from what drove me than he was willing what drove him. And so it's not the reason, okay, that pushes you in wholesaling. It's your driver, okay? Who's driving the car, all right? Yeah, this guy should be a better driver, but he ain't. And some mental illness for me. I'm just so delusional in wholesaling that I'm willing to do whatever it takes, that I was willing to do that. One day I'll give you the complete story on that. Let's just say that guy, after his 4th lost deal for me, he actually chased me once. I won't get in the full story about that. Maybe one day I will. I've seen him at the gym twice now. He's scared of me now. But because I turned 21, know what that means. Let's just say he's had a lot of problems with me, and I put him out of business. And the moral of the story here was, I was just willing to work harder than him, but my drive was different. And so what drives you? Your drive must drive you. And for most of you guys out here, your driver sucks. Your driver absolutely sucks. And what this means is, yes, okay? Yes, you want to work hard, man. You want to get rich. You want to get successful. And you might have the reason to become successful, right? You might have I want to get rich, man. Just because you want to get rich ain't going to get you there. Like, what about getting rich gets you there? Just being honest with you. Like, what's getting you there? And so for a lot of you guys out here, your driver absolutely sucks. Change your driver. Change what's getting you going and what's driving. It doesn't have to be a crazy thing. You just have to be willing to work hard. If you're willing to do it, you become rich. You'll become successful. You'll actually get the results that you want. And so let's talk about the 3 things I see from most people. Let's kind of break down my top 3 excuses I found in wholesaling real estate. There are 3 horsemen that cause people in wholesaling to quit. And I want you guys to watch this, okay? And this is a clear one, okay? Okay, you want to quit wholesaling real estate, all right? You want to stop. Let's talk about it, all right? First and foremost, number 1, time. Time is your killer. Oh, I don't have enough time, Zach. Well, we're going to have more efficient lists, all right? So if we have no time, we're going to do government lists, and we're going to stay accountable during our time. Like, real accountability. Like, how much time do you really have? Can we kind of cut an hour out of our sleep and get an extra hour into wholesaling? Like, let's really be honest. What are we doing during the week? Let's do a real conversation here. Most people that only have 3 or 4 hours a week into wholesaling, I usually can get them about 15 hours. Hey, okay, let's not work out 4 hours a day. Let's work out 1 hour a day. Dorian Yates did this. He won Mr. Olympia. We can do that. And let's kind of change how we're doing things, okay? Knowledge. Go to freewholesaling.com. Oh, I don't know what scripts to do, man. I'm not. There's a free wholesaling course called freewholesaling.com. Just go there. Don't make knowledge your excuse, because knowledge is the easiest one than anything, okay? Most wholesalers don't have the right list. And how do I get the right list? Go to freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. Now, let's talk about effort. If you're not putting enough effort in, you're not prioritizing the right things in your life. Where do you put an effort in right now? Because your minds sometimes get weak and strong. We don't know. But sometimes you're like, oh, I got a full laundry. I can't cold call today because your prioritization is off. Also, you lack discipline. Your schedule is off. You do not have the correct schedule. I'll sit down with anyone today and have a complete talk about your schedules in wholesaling. If you create a schedule and you stay disciplined with it, you should have enough effort to be put out here. Just being honest, okay? This is what it all takes. Put your effort in. And so what box are you in? Are you having an effort issue? Are you having a time issue? Let's talk. What's causing you these issues here? On top of that too, let's talk about this too. I want to give everyone here a permission slip to quit wholesaling, right? Let's go through kind of the killers of success. Number one, why do you want to quit wholesaling? In my mind, in wholesaling real estate, there's 5 reasons why you want to quit. 5 ways. Let me know, right? Let me know if there's another one, but there's 5 reasons why anyone wholesaling real estate would want to quit. Number 1, expectations. Your expectations are too off. You were expecting to make 40 grand and you're expecting not to work hard. Your expectations do not meet your reality. Did you have insane expectations? Number 1 reason why most people quit, their expectations are off. Please let me know. I think I kind of showed today that most of your expectations do not meet your reality, and that's your issue. Okay? Number 2, wholesaling is too saturated. I get that one a lot. Okay, so wholesaling is too saturated. That's why I want to quit. Okay, what market are you in? You're in Miami. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a little too saturated there. Do virtual wholesaling. Excuse killed, right? The problem is a lot of you guys are trying to get an excuse, a reason why you want to stay broke. And unfortunately, you're watching me. I'm not going to give you a permission slip to be broke. You're never going to get that from me. And so let's go down the permission slip for you to quit wholesaling and become broke. Wholesaling, go virtual. If you're in a good market, have you done every list I have in freewholesaling.com? No. And they're like, oh, I've done every list. Okay, do you do the arrest records? Well, no. But you said you did every list, man. Do you lie to me? Well, I didn't lie to you. You're writing a story about yourself that you did every list, right? If you go to your kitchen cabinet right now and say, there's no salt. We have no salt, Mom. And you open the cabinet and you just can't see the salt. And then, your mom comes by and says, look, it's right here in front of you. You're like, what? The reason this is it's a phenomenon in the brain I was reading about, but basically you'll hypnotize your own brain into thinking the salt's not, you'll see the salt, but your brain says, no, it's not there. You're telling a lie to yourself to make yourself not feel like a liar. The truth is, if you tell yourself a story in your mind that I tried everything, I did it all, but I just couldn't get it, I gotta quit. The story excuse for yourself will perpetuate. I'm broke and I'll always be broke. If you think like that, you're going to be like that. You have to stop the sorry story you've written for yourself that you're a broke person. Number 3, oh, this business is too much work. Oh, it's too much work, man. Really? Really? This business is too much work. Let's be honest with you, right? Is the price of being broke worth the price of not being rich? Is the price of being broke not worth the price of becoming successful? Ask yourself this. Is it worth it? Is not going after your dreams worth a salary? Because what's a salary? It's the price you pay to not go after your dreams. It's what you get paid by a company for you not actually go out here and try your own dream. You work for someone else's dreams, not yours. The shareholders' dreams, right? So is the price of not being rich too great for you? I would argue, looking the other way, the price of not being successful is far too great. The price of regret is terrible. The price of not actually doing the thing you said, it's far too great. It's far too great. And for the majority of guys watch this, the price of being broke, it's way too high versus the price of cold calling. It's FOBB, right? A lot of people, the fear of being broke. Until your fear of being broke is greater than your fear of cold calling, you're never gonna cold call. And so so if I bring you right now and I put you in front of a cold plunge, 40-degree water, you're gonna be like, oh, I ain't going in there. Okay. I ain't going in that cold. No. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. Okay. Guess what? If I light your hair on fire and there's no water around you, the first thing you're doing is plunging into that cold pool to get because the price of having my hair burned to a crisp and looking bad is way higher than the price of being in the cold pool. In the icy pool. And so it's prioritization too, right? And so it's not that I can't do it. I just don't want to. Then your hair's on fire. You're like, oh, you know what? This is a bigger problem than this. And so I'm going to jump in. But the problem is your hair's on fire right now. You're stuck in the same job, but you're not willing to do the thing that's actually going to get you Stop getting your hair on fire, which is cold calling. And so the price of being broke has to be worse than the price of the work to get into wholesaling real estate. No excuses. No excuses can be made here. We have to become successful. Do you value time with your family, or do you value time with your boss? If you value time with your family over time with your boss, go become your own boss. Start getting into wholesaling real estate. Number 4, probably the worst one I see from most people is just getting back to old habits. Your grandpa was broke, your mom or dad's been broke, and now you're going to broke, and the family perpetually keeps the same process going. Old habits die hard, all right? When the going gets tough, I quit. My family quits. We don't do hard things here. When the going got tough for you, you always quit and gave up. Did you find yourself always quitting when you get started? I see a lot of procrastinators like this. It's a lot of people with ADHD, a lot of these type of people that they just have to stop. They're like, oh, it got tough. I'm going to the new thing, right? They can never keep a job. They can never keep anything going. They always want to change to a new thing. Are you this type of person? Now, yes, the old you gives up when it gets tough, but you have to change your story and kill the old version of yourself. As a quitter that always gave up, that was never successful. That's the old you. All right, that's the old version of yourself. And lastly, let's have a conversation here. Are you trying to quit wholesaling? I thought I was better than Zach. I think I'm better than Kobe Bryant. I think I'm better than Tom Brady. I think I'm better than Muhammad Ali. I'm better than Harriet Tubman. I'm better than Albert Einstein. I'm better than MLK Jr. Do you legit let me know my conversation? I don't believe I'm better than any of those people. Do you think you're better than all those people? Just raise your hand in the chat if you think you are better than those people. I legit want to know. I don't think there's one person on here who's better than these people right now. I'm not. And what I mean by this is what are you talking about? No, seriously, quit wholesaling if you, in your mind, think you're better than any of these people. Besides me. Everyone's better than me. But are you a better wholesaler than me? Are you better at basketball than Kobe? Please let me know. Are you a better boxer than Muhammad Ali? Are you better, let me know. Are you a better speaker than MLK Jr.? Tell me if you legitimately, in your heart, feel like you're better than any of these people at what they're best at doing. Now, the majority of wholesalers watching this, and the majority of people know this, no. Okay? No. I'm not better than these people, all right? No, I'm not, obviously, right? So, no, you're not better than these people, okay? This is a ridiculous, I know that that's a ridiculous thing to say, but it's the dang truth. Of course, you're not better than these people. And what I mean by that is if you legit came here and you thought you were better than these people, you're nuts. What do all these people have in common besides me, obviously? Is Kobe, he did what most people in his vicinity aren't willing to do. He legit worked harder than most people, and that's Tom Brady worked harder than most people. Muhammad Ali worked harder than most boxers. Albert Einstein was smarter than most people, and he put in more work than most. MLK Jr., he did more practicing of speeches. He did more action than any of his peers, pretty much. You look at back then when he was in the 50s, 60s, right? He did more than anyone else. And so you look at all these people, they all went through adversity, number one. Let's take me off here. That's kind of stupid. But they all went through more adversity. They all worked harder than everyone around them. And they all did things when no one was looking. And they didn't care about that. So if you think you're better than these people, quit. But you have to have a conversation here, all right? All these people knew if you want to be great like them, you have to work hard. You have to be misunderstood by your family and peers. You have to work insanely hard. You have to work harder than anyone else around you with no credit, no acknowledgement, or no notoriety at all. Say to yourself, I will do it for myself and my family. I will not quit. The truth is, you're watching this right now. You expect acknowledgement from your peers. You acknowledge everyone to clap for you. Oh, you go, man. It ain't going to happen. You post to everyone on social media, no one cares. Only thing people care about is when you get that check and you get that first wholesaling deal. You have to be willing to work when no one's watching and work harder than anyone else is willing to do. The truth is, the only person that really cares about your struggles and your issues is maybe your mom. That's pretty much it. Nobody cares. Just work when no one's watching and let your results speak for yourself. Put in the effort and the results will follow and you'll actually get rich. If you feel like quitting wholesaling real estate right now, have a legitimate conversation with yourself. Before you quit, I want you to make one last ditch effort in the next 30, 60, 90 days. I'm going to put in 10, 15, 20 hours a week in the best list possible Zach teaches at freewholesaling.com. I'm willing to actually go out here and do the effort and do the results that I know I need to start doing, and I will start getting rich. Go to freewholesaling.com, learn how to wholesale houses, do the lists that work, do the scripts that work, and actually try something for the first time in your life. You go all in and do whatever you have to do. Be above the baseline, get rich, and become successful in wholesaling real estate. I truly believe you can do it. From the bottom of my heart, I truly believe you can do it if you're willing to put in the work. The numbers don't lie. I'm a numbers guy. Efforts are always going to up your results. So make sure expectations and reality hit. Get rich in wholesaling real estate, guys. I've taught hundreds of thousands of wholesalers. The ones that always put in the more work, that never make excuses, they're willing to come in and just grind, and just do the work with their head down and just keep working. That didn't make any issues. They weren't starting low. Oh, it's a tough day to. No, they had the story that they're going to get their first deal. They're the ones that became successful. Don't believe me? Go to freewholesaling.com. Look at all the people. Look at the podcasts we have. All these people. Go to the Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real. We get checks on a daily basis. People becoming successful. That's what this whole thing is about, man. Go to freewholesaling.com and you'll learn how to wholesale real estate step by step.